of American democracy. And that goes along the lines of the Citizens United issue with corporate personage and campaign finance reform. Or the Glass-Steagall Act, which is one of the reasons why we're in this financial situation that we're in now. Poverty, the rate going up, the middle class disintegrating, and the gap between the haves and the have-nots staggering to the point where even though it's been happening across the world and it's unacceptable for any country, it's definitely tearing at the American dream that was supposed to be built here. And it's just a dim light and dim future for what things will come, not just for this generation, but for the next generation. Like, is this a fall of Rome kind of thing? So we are fighting for our right to live as citizens who are treated fairly by our government, who just want a place to live, affordable education, retirement, and safety, and knowing that we are listened to as a majority of the population versus ignored and have legislation that caters to the ruling elite. So that's our goal and aspiration, is to have a more honest political discourse and not have corporate money influence that. There's nothing wrong with corporations. They're businesses. Small businesses eventually turn into corporations, and that's fine. They provide us the things that we need based on what the market says, but they have no business being involved in the judiciary process, the legislative process, or any executive influence process whatsoever. They don't vote. They cannot run for president or any office, so they have no right to the same rights that a real person has. They're only a person on paper. They're not real people. And with limited contracts, like they can enter a contract, be sued, things of that nature. But they shouldn't be involved in the political process whatsoever, which has led to the degradation of our society and with globalization across the world.
We're done. Serious change.
I got here around 7 o'clock. What we did, actually, a little chanting going on. Of course, a little bit, everybody was, trying to get attention of everybody during the rush hour, whoever come left over. Then we did our actual meeting. We went over our groups and everybody what our plans for gonna be tomorrow. Actually, we're gonna do what we're gonna produce as far as categories of what we want to do. We're gonna send people actually to schools, campuses.
And you created committees and
committees, everything outlined. Actually, I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna hit the CTA personally with pairs up, and we got a couple of other stuff. We're gonna do schools, hitting the colleges around here, Columbia, and close by.
So you've set an agenda and put people to work
I
today.
didn't set up actually.
Yeah.
I think somebody got in touch with federal provisional office. I don't know if they're wrong. And they said they're backing up as well. So things are start rolling. I mean, it's not perfect, but everything kind of, now we have planned. We know what we're going to do tomorrow. Actually, by Friday, actually, the big meeting's going to happening. We're going to go from there. Yeah.
So if anybody wants to participate in the big meeting on Friday, how do they get along to us?
7 p.m. Friday. Our plan is for it to be here at the Fed, right here, Occupation Central. If it changes, people can find that out on Twitter at Occupy Chicago. We're going to try to keep people posted as best we can, but the plan is for it to be here at Occupation Central.
And the plan is for people to come here, not just follow us online. Come on down.
That's absolutely right.
Physically be here, not just online, everywhere you can be. Come here for 1 hour, even if you can, just stop by.
Absolutely.
We take anything. And actually, we're growing. Right now, we're getting momentum. It's like over 100 people today, and new faces. It's just amazing, and it means we're doing something more than right.
Every single day, more support from everyday people, more and more people coming out. Tonight we had the biggest General Assembly we've had since we started. It's only been bigger every single night. And Friday we're hoping it's going to be really big. We're putting all our efforts behind it, getting the news out there to the people. So come by on Friday, 7 p.m. Support Occupy Chicago.
Let's go all the way. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mark Banks. I'm over here in Chicago at the Occupy Chicago movement. We've been out here, we're on day 5 of Occupy Chicago. We're occupying the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago over on Jackson and LaSalle. What we're doing is obviously sort of tied in with the Occupy Wall Street movement, or at least inspired by it. We saw what was happening in New York. We were incredibly moved by it. And it can only be addressed through the people coming together, as they've done in other places like Egypt, and expressing our first of all our discontent, but also our commitment to change things, and coming out and doing a sort of radical form of democracy. Hopefully affecting some kind of change by creating a different culture of political consciousness. As far as our specific movement, we've been here, like I said, for 5 days. It's been a little brutal on us. The rain has not been on the rain and the weather in general has not been on our side here in Chicago. It's been raining almost every day, I think actually every day, and every night it's rained on us, but we've stayed out here nevertheless. There's a group of us who've been camping out since day 1, and we don't plan on leaving. We've had some other challenges with Federal Reserve security. They've tried to push us around a little bit, but we've managed to pretty much come through most of those battles relatively unscathed. It started off small. It started off with a small group of people who got together through social networks, through Facebook and Twitter and this kind of stuff. And once it started growing, once the momentum started generating, it's only gone up and up and up. Every single day I'm seeing more and more faces, I'm seeing more and more, meeting new people. We're getting all sorts of donations, food, money, water, blankets, dry clothes, you name it. We have close to, I think, 4,000 followers on Twitter now. We've got almost 1,000 followers on Facebook. Almost everyone that we've encountered and talked to has shown overwhelmingly positive support for what we're doing, whether it's, cars driving by, honking their horns, putting their fist out the window, or whether it's people walking by thanking us for what we're doing, expressing their gratitude and their support and their solidarity with us, or people online leaving comments about how inspired they are by what we're doing, and we're equally inspired by their support. So this is really a broad movement. Every person who honks his horn, every person who sends us a shout out on Twitter, every person who sends us food, so we can sustain ourselves, is a part of this movement, and is a very important part of this movement.
Fight for the future of America. Do you wake up? The time has definitely come. This is our Tahrir Square. This is our occupation, just like before the revolution in Egypt. They set up 10 cities, just like what they're doing in Wall Street. We have to look, for what they've done, say, in France and Greece. We can learn from them, and we can do it better than they can. We can learn from their mistakes. Now it's our time, not just for ourselves, not just for the ones we love, but the people who don't understand what's going on yet. For our children and our children's children. We have to do this now. We have to act now, or else it'll be too late later.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it fresh. People over problems. They got bailouts, we got screwed. Yeah, keep it fresh for the people. They got bailouts, we got screwed. They got bailouts, we got screwed. They got bailouts.
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stopped. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and a carrying signs. Mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop now. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going. We better stop. Children, what's that sound?
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom.
The car market can be a noisy place. Our solution? The 100% electric Mitsubishi i. At 112 mpge, it's the most efficient car in its class. And who wouldn't like that? Learn more at i.mitsubishicars.com.
How long do you think it's been since we've had an active, viable left, even one comparable to the right? Is it Reagan, pre-Reagan? Is it Vietnam era?
It's been a very, very long time, Keith. There's no question about that. But what I appreciate about what's going on in New York City right now is there is a spotlight being focused on Wall Street. We desperately need that. If we're going to get out of this recession, if we're going to create the millions of jobs that we desperately need, we need real Wall Street reform. I mean, right now, a lot of people don't know this. You have 6 financial institutions, the largest 6 banks in the country, who control 60% of the assets of the United States of America. After we bailed them out because they were too big to fail, 3 out of the 4 largest financial institutions actually became bigger. So if we are going to create a situation where capital is going to flow into the productive economy, into manufacturing, into rebuilding our infrastructure, into transforming our energy system, rather than continuing the casino-type games that Wall Street is playing right now, we need a lot of pressure on Wall Street. No question about that.
So give me your read in that context about Occupy Wall Street. I mean, I have always had a theory that nothing has ever changed for the better in the history of this world without somebody starting by saying, hey, this is wrong. I don't know how to fix it, but this is wrong, and we just need to keep saying this is wrong until everybody's saying, okay, let's get together and fix it.
Absolutely. And focusing attention on Wall Street is exactly the right thing to do. Let me give you just one other example, Keith. In the Dodd-Frank financial reform bill, we managed to get a provision in there which allowed for an audit of the Fed during the Wall Street bailout. What we learned, amazingly enough, is the Fed provided $16 trillion, $16 trillion in low-interest loans to every financial institution in this country and to central banks all over the world and large American corporations. Now just think about what would happen if the Fed today said, we have to deal with unemployment. We're going to make billions of dollars in low-interest loans available to small businesses, to those institutions in America that are actually part of the productive economy, producing products, producing services, and creating jobs.
Life a bitch. Tell me why is life a bitch? We don't tax the rich. Why is life a bitch? We don't tax the rich.
Thank you. Thank you. We got the live stream on this right now. We got 10,000 people watching this right now.
Yeah.